Tiger Woods a little further down the board, Kyle, but at least he's on the board. Arrived at Southern Hills on Sunday. Brief practice round ahead of this major championship. And if he goes, will be the first really since the Masters, of course. And he said afterwards, I've gotten a lot stronger since the Masters. We started ramping up a week or so ago, played a little bit more of golf, and it was good. Everything is better. Again, Tiger always wanting to temper expectations, did so at the Masters, but how excited would we be and should we be for Tiger potentially this week?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, listen, it would have been crazy for me 51 weeks ago, right after Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship, to say, hey, Phil's actually not going to be at the PGA next year, but Tiger will. And that is what's going to happen, it seems like. You know, Tiger is going to play this tournament. I think expectations are still, it's hard because he's Tiger Woods, right? And so you always expect a lot, but he's not played tournament golf. He's only played the Masters, Tommy, over the last year and a half. And he played, I thought, tremendously there for not having played in so long. And he made the cut and he kind of fell off on the weekend because he was tired. I think the expectations are largely the same as Southern Hills. To make the cut would be an achievement. That would be an accomplishment against a bunch of guys that are playing really high-level golf and playing consistently. That's the thing for Tiger. He's still maybe the smartest guy in the field, the wisest guy in the field on these golf courses. Obviously won here in 2007, but he just doesn't have those reps, you know, that he always talks about. So I think making the cut, maybe mixing it up a little bit on the weekend, I think that's a reasonable expectation for Tiger this week.
All right, at Caesars Sportsbook, I mentioned him being on the board right now at 50-1, and you referenced 2007 with the last of his 4 PGA Championship major victories at Southern Hills. But why will Southern Hills look and feel different this week?
Well, it had a complete redesign. Gil Hanse, back in, I believe it was 2016, 17, that kind of range, completely redesigned the golf course. It was a Perry Maxwell design back in the 1920s, I believe, is when it was first constructed. And Gil Hanse kind of brought it into the modern era. And so I think what you're going to see this week, you know, golf architecture people, of whom I am not one, love this golf course because it's you know, I think the words that have been used are it's got an intimate routing, but it's still like a good modern test. It's still a good modern test for the modern player who's super long. So it's going to be interesting. You know, we're going to see some cooler temperatures this weekend, and I'm fascinated. You know, I thought one of the kind of primary components to last year's PGA, Tommy, was how hard the wind blew and how that really elevated the best ball strikers in the field, because you got to cut through different winds, you got to hold shots against wind, you know, play it with the wind. I think you're going to see that again at Southern Hills. You're going to see some weird temperatures on the weekend where you go from the 90s and 80s on Thursday, Friday, all of a sudden you're going to see lows on the weekend that are in the 50s. That's way different than we saw back in 2007 when Tiger won, when it was about 105 degrees in Tulsa. So I think weather actually is going to play a really big part in determining this major championship at Southern Hills.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.